Hello, I'm a marine biologist, and I have opinions about the creatures in Subnautica, both Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero. And we're going to talk about them, and I'm going to rank them, and I will be merciless. There is no one that is safe from me. Anyway, let's go ahead and actually rank these, because I have opinions. Some of these opinions may not be scientific, and that's okay. Because I can also be a person and have ones that I particularly like and particularly dislike. If you played my, or watched my playthroughs, you might be able to guess some of these. Let me know in the comments if you guessed correctly. Alright, I have set this up. Hopefully I can share this as a link so you can make your own. But anyway, I have the My Beloved category, which is the S tier category. And then I have the category that is What a Fine Specimen. These are the ones where I'm like, these are really great, but they're not my beloved. But I really, really love them more than just like them. And then of course there's just the I like you. And then there's the meh ones where I don't really have much of an opinion on them. I also have the I have beef with you ones, which is many of these. I guess we're going to find out. It'll be interesting to see on like a scale. Having everything out, seeing who's in the most categories. And then of course I have the hate with a burning fiery passion. Go ahead and guess already which ones you think are going to be in this category, and we're going to find out. Okay. I have all of the creatures that I have nabbed from the wiki, the Subnautica wiki. Shout out to them. Where should I start? Let's start with the amp eels. I don't particularly like them when they shock me, but they also look really cool. I started off with a hard one, didn't I? I'm going to just put them in the meh category because they're somewhere in between, because I don't like when they shock me. I do love how they move, though. They move in what's called a serpentine fashion, and they do this number, which is really fun. But also I don't like when they shock me and zap my energy. So they're going to go in meh. We're just putting them in meh, okay? The bone shark. I have beef with bone sharks, okay? Listen. They do look cool. Like many of the creatures in this game, they have a really cool design. I don't like when they attack me. And I'll just be chilling, minding my own business in my sea moth, and they'll just randomly come up and get me, okay? Not chill with them. I have beef with them. I have beef. Who should we put next? Oh, I know who's going into the hate with a burning fiery passion category. I hate these. The crash fish suck. Do you know how mad I was when the crash fish were also in Subnautica Below Zero? I was like, I had enough of them. I didn't need them to be cosmopolitan. I didn't need them to be all over 45, 46B. Also, they don't make sense to me. I mean, I guess it's like, I'm not really an insect person. I don't know a lot about that. I guess it's kind of like the stinging insects that you only sting once, and then once you sting, you die. It's kind of like that, and I guess they're just trying to protect their offspring, but I feel like once you die, you can no longer protect your offspring. It just seems like an extreme response. But okay. While we're here, the mesmers. Honestly, I'm going to put them here, which might be controversial. What a fine specimen. They're cool, okay? I was really intrigued by their design. I think it's really cool that they can hypnotize you. It's kind of similar to the passing clouds behavior that you'll see in Cuttlefish, where they like, it looks like there's clouds that are passing and they'll do this thing to hypnotize their prey. They'll do a behavior to hypnotize their prey. There's a BBC video on it where there's one that's doing the passing clouds behavior to hypnotize a crab. Super cool. It kind of reminds me of these. I just think they're a really cool design. I freaked out when I first found them. I was like, this is really awesome. I like them. I wonder how long this video is going to end up being. Should I go in order or should I just... I don't know. Okay. You know what? These are going straight here. Hate with a burning fiery passion. They just attack me out of nowhere. I would put these on the same level as damselfish in real life. I've never been attacked by a damselfish, but damselfish can be... No. We're going to say these are like triggerfish. Triggerfish can be very aggressive. They can attack divers and snorkelers. They're known for it. If you look up videos on the internet, there's plenty of them. These are very aggressive. And listen, I understand that they're resource guarding or whatever they're doing, protecting their offspring, whatever. Valiant, I get that. I don't want to be attacked by you when I'm just cruising around. Okay? This is another hard one. Because I do have beef with them, but do I hate them with a burning fiery passion? I don't think I hate them as much as I hate these. So I'm going to put the crab snake here. Because they did interrupt me famously when I was trying to talk about biology. But they do have a cool design. So I have beef with them. I'll just put them there. Alright, crab squid. Honestly, kind of a goated design. Let's be real. They're cool. They're not very intelligent, which is interesting because apparently, according to the little information that you get about these from our scan, most of this is stomach, if I recall correctly. So they're not actually smart, like squid counterparts. But the sound design is probably the coolest sound design in the whole game, in my opinion, between both games, if we're being honest. And the way the electricity goes out and then it can stop your sea moth or whatever electronic device that you are using, pretty cool. The way that they move, pretty cool. I don't know. I just think the design is really goated. We're going to put them there. They're not my beloved, though. But if we're going to do a beloved, obviously, it's the cuttlefish. No question. I love the cuttlefish. I'm obsessed with the cuttlefish. They're intelligent, they're adorable, they make cute little sounds, they can follow you around, they do the little spinny thing, you can give them treats, they can learn tricks. I love them. They also have a ridiculous amount of HP. I was too terrified to take them anywhere, even though they had ridiculous amounts of HP, but I love them. I love them with my whole heart. They're so adorable. Now the trivalves, it pains me to do this. I'm only putting them in like. I don't think they're cute. I think they're kind of ugly. But when they spin around and do all of the little like cute sounds and do the little tricks, yeah, I get it. But you can't beat the cuttlefish design. They're wonderful. And like, they remind me of a mix between like a cuttlefish, which I guess is where the name came from, like cephalopods in general, and like dolphin intelligence. Before everybody starts going off, listen. We need to have a discussion, okay? Everybody demonizes dolphins now. We don't want to demonize dolphins. Just because you're intelligent doesn't mean that you're automatically bad. That falls into anti-intellectualism, and we don't want to slide down that road, okay? Just because they're intelligent doesn't mean that they're capable of atrocities, all right? Attacking other fish, they're following their behavior. They're following their intelligence. They're naturally very curious. They naturally want to play. Yes, they do certain things that we as humans have morality against. But they are just operating based on their behavior. They don't have a morality. As far as we know, all animals deserve our research. They deserve our conservation. Okay? I just want to put that out there. Like, yes, I've made dolphin jokes before. However, we're getting too close into the, like, permanently demonizing dolphins, which is not great because they serve very important roles in their ecosystems. But anyway, that's what I think about the cuttlefish. They are my beloved. I adore them. These, I don't remember encountering that often. I think these were the version in below zero, but I didn't see them that often, and they didn't annoy me that much, I don't think. So I'm just going to put them in the meh category. You know what? Frick it. I'm going to actually... I'm just going to put them... No, not here. No, that's not where they go. I'm going to put them right here. Did they spook me a couple times? Yes. Yes, the chelicerates. They did spook me several times. And then once I got used to them, I was just like, I can outrun them. They're kind of scary. They have a really cool design. But nothing near what my, like, #1 hate with a burning fiery passion is going to be. Also, can you move these around on this? Oh, you can. Not. Yes, you can. Okay, well. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that, but there is one in particular that will go there. These. I don't hate them that much. The ice worms were terrifying. I did love all the references to Dune. But I only have beef with them, I think. Because I was able to outrun them and we were good. However. These jerks, they're going straight to the hate with a burning fiery passion hell right there. I abhor these. They're terrifying. Not as terrifying as some other ones that we're going to go over. But, I hated these. Genuinely. This is a meh. The frozen Leviathan, because it's frozen. We never interact with it. I don't know if it's scary. I mean, it looked kind of scary, but then I was just like, it's dead. So, maybe if it was, we got to see it, like, moving around and such, I'd have an opinion, but I don't. Alright. Time to just do it. This is the animal that I hate the most between both games. And I'm trying to put it right at the front because that's where it belongs. And I can't seem to move it. Please. You know what? Fine. The Reaper Leviathan is the scariest. I have to rant, okay? The Reaper Leviathan is the scariest between both games. It is one of the scariest creatures I have encountered in any video game that I have played, which might be shocking to people, but I've played video games. I love video games. It's a regular hobby of mine. I only recently started, so I'm learning new genres, but I do actually play video games. But anyway, Reaper Leviathans are genuinely the scariest thing I've ever encountered. There were moments when I first started playing Subnautica that Subnautica, the first game, is really good at making you feel like you're actually in it. There were moments in which I was anxious in a way that has never made me anxious before in a game because it feels equivalent to when you're actually diving or snorkeling and you're in places that have really low visibility and you can't see what's going on and you don't know what's below you. I have gone on record that I'm terrified of places where you can't see the bottom. And people are like, oh my god, then why are you a marine biologist? There are plenty of different places that you can work in as a marine biologist and still be nervous. And then also, once I do the things that make me nervous, I usually am not that nervous of them, but I've never actually been out somewhere that you can't see the bottom. At least like that I've been in the water and can see it. I've been over and on a boat, obviously. But anyway, these things can just be there. And I remember being genuinely terrified in a way that I have never been in a video game, in a way in which I would feel potentially in real life. Where I was like, I am terrified to move and terrified to go in these places, like especially around like the Aurora, because it could be anywhere. The sounds that they make, terrifying. Genuinely. The size, terrifying. The tentacles, just everything about it, horrifying. Hate it. It would be number 1, except that for some reason it doesn't want me to move it. Oh, so I can move these. Fine. Fine. There. This feels accurate now. There we go. No. No. Because I really... Oh my God. This is such a pain. You know what? Fine. There we go. Now we're good. That feels accurate. The rest of these I probably won't actually, like, rearrange. But yeah. I hate those. Also, on that list, certainly way up here, is these. Okay? Ghost Leviathans are scary. I've never been... No, I have been killed. I did get killed by them. That's right. This is just going to include the juvenile in it because they're like roughly the same. They are scary. And I hate them. But it's kind of weird because the design is so cool. I really like the design. I think they're actually kind of pretty, but they're horrifying. I don't get nearly as much fear as I do with these. But I do not like them. And actually, you know what? You know what? I'm going to do this. No, no. No. Wow, we're just going to struggle with this the entire video. You know what? I might just give up. Fine. There we go. This feels more like it. That's how I feel. Okay. Moving on. There's going to be a lot in succession that are just, I have beef with you, okay? These, I got beef with them. Didn't like that they throw lava rocks at you. That's not great. Didn't enjoy that. These I have beef with, but like less beef. They look really cool. They remind me of bristleworms, which I like. However, they're annoying. There was also one time off screen when I was playing, and one followed me into a location that it definitely wasn't supposed to, and it started attacking me. And I was like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? And then I accidentally killed it. I didn't mean to, but I was like, get away from me with my knife, and then it killed it, and I felt blood. Or blood? I felt bad. I cannot speak today. These, meh. They're all bark, not really bite. I think I've only been attacked by them like once or twice. They irritate me, but meh. Stalkers, though. They annoy me. I like their teeth. The teeth are great. Teeth are super helpful. You need them to build lots of things. But, like to make an animal glass, which I love because I love building anything that has lots of glass. But they kind of suck. They're mean. I don't like them. Now we're going to add another one that I hate with a burning fiery passion. Warpers suck. I hate them so much. Once I figured out that you could knife them, I had a great time. But they appear in the worst possible places. And then the other thing is that they're bioengineered. You're telling me that something made this, which I know what the somethings are. You know what? If you're watching this video, you've probably been spoiled already because you've probably played it. That's why you're watching this. So, spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, run, I guess. But if not, and you're fine with spoilers, spoiler alert, the architects made these. Alan's race made these. And I'm like, Alan, why? Why would you do this? Why would you why would you, I'm so mad I can't even speak. Why would you bioengineer these to just go and attack people? To just transport them? And animals and anything else that's infected. Why would you do this? I hate them. I hate them so much. Granted, when you're no longer infected, they don't bother you, which is nice. But why are they so creepy? They send you these scary messages, and then they have these creepy sounds. I don't like them. I hate them. Bladderfish. I like them. They are super useful. You need them so you can make water. I just think they're kind of ugly. So I'm putting them in the like. Boomerangs. I like them. They're fun. They're a cool design. They're everywhere. They're another one of those cosmopolitan species. but yeah. They're not going into the fine specimen category. That is reserved for only the best. I do like the magma rays. I'm on record saying that I love all of the rays. The magma ray is not my favorite. They're cool. I'm just not that psyched about them. I'm gonna put the eye as like a meh. They don't give you that much food, which kind of sucks. And then they just look, I don't know, they're just weird. Scary fish, honestly, I think they're fun. I contemplated putting them in the My Beloved, but no, the My Beloved has to be saved for the best ones, okay? But they're fun. I love how they look. Supposedly they don't taste that great, but you know, it's fine. These, I just feel kind of meh about. It sucks that they have the gasopods that can attack you, but you can use them. I've just never used them. I'm sure that this is a controversial take because somebody's probably going to have it up higher, but I don't know. I just, They kind of remind me of manatees if manatees could fight back. Now this right here, the ghost ray, chef's kiss, My Beloved. I adore these. I love the design. I love that they're transparent. They look so cool. They're so... I love them so much. They're so pretty. And then when they're all swimming in Tree Cove, I love them. They're incredible. And follow up, these are also My Beloveds. Adore them. But these right here, these are my favorite ones. And then I also love the rabbit rays. They're also My Beloved. I would put them above the jelly ray, I think. If it'll let me. You know what? Fine. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking. This is how I feel. These are really cool because they remind me a lot of nudibranchs in that, like, the body shape looks kind of similar-ish to a nudibranch. Or kind of like a mix between a nudibranch and a sea angel. And then it has like the colors that are similar and like the coloration, like the aposematic coloration, like warning signals that say like, hi, I am very poisonous, don't eat me. I think they're awesome. I was upset that you couldn't like capture them to put them in your tank, but then I got an egg and I had those in my tank and I was thrilled. Okay. I like these. I think they're fun. I'd even put them in a what a fine specimen category because the hole is fun. I love the purple coloration. There isn't much for me to say. I do also love that you can see the rays on the fins here on the caudal fin. That's pretty cool. The caudal fin, by the way, is the tail fin. I don't have much to say. I'm gonna just put these in like. These are pretty. I'm obsessed with the colors, but something about like how common they are in below zero just makes it to where I don't think of them as like, oh my god, these are so cool anymore. They're just like in the like category, despite the fact that this color combination is elite and honestly S tier. Now, these, I love them. The hoverfish, I think they're called. They're so cute. And their little face and the little like feet. Fins, I think they're adorable and I love them. I love them so much. Magma rays, I'm gonna just put them in the meh category. It's like, oh, you repeated the boomerang, except you have different colors and they're like less cool colors besides the like fiery part on the end. I'm sure that's gonna be a controversial take. You know what? I wanna hear all your controversial takes. Tell me in the comments. Chat with me, people. I wanna hear your opinions. This right here, this is going right here. And the reason why is because I loved the level of detail that they gave for their background information. Sick as heck, okay? I was super fascinated by the fact that they were talking about how these evolutionarily branched off from Peepers because they were in a different location and then they weren't able to interbreed anymore and then they just had their own population and they have their own specific traits to live in the jelly shroom caves. That, elite. Not enough to put it in My Beloved, but that was elite tier stuff, okay? Peepers, I'm gonna also put what if I, well, I'm going to put them here just because of their role in the story. They're like overall, they're not that exciting, particularly in comparison to these. But they're... The eye is cool. I'll leave them here, especially too because they're useful as food. The red eye is just also gonna go here because I'm just like, eh. I feel like there's gonna be a lot that I'm like, meh on. We're gonna find out. Now this, the Reginald Beloved, obviously. The name alone, that's why it's a beloved. You looked at this thing and you called it Reginald. Come on. Come on. Do I need another introduction? These... I feel almost meh about them, but the design is so funny to me. But like they're like, I don't know. I'll put them there. These, I don't care. I don't care about the spinefish in either game. They look cool, I guess. They're just like meh to me, honestly. I'm gonna put these as like. You don't really interact with them that much, but hello? The design is cool. I like want to touch it, which you shouldn't touch marine life, but like, you know, the part of me wants to touch it, right? These I don't really have strong opinions on, so I'm just gonna put the floaters there. These, however, I do have strong opinions on. All right, I'm gonna put them in the I have beef with you category with a caveat. We're gonna have a discussion, okay? The discussion here is that, oh, and my bangs are doing things that I don't want them to do, okay? The discussion here is that parasites play super important roles in their ecosystem. I have talked about this extensively in my Last of Us series, gaming series, which Last of Us Part 2 will happen at some point soon, hopefully. I will be playing those games for you all, or that game for you all. Parasites play critical parts in their ecosystems. Oftentimes, there are more parasites than there are predators. It's a more common strategy than predators, than predation. People like to put parasites into a little box of like, oh, they're all bad. They do all these bad things. That's not true. Sometimes parasites can have both pros and cons. For example, I've mentioned this before, but tapeworms that are in birds can actually absorb the heavy metal or heavy metals, and then the birds don't have as many heavy metals in them, which is great for the birds. But they also have a tapeworm. There's also other instances, and again, I talk about this at length in the Last of Us playthrough that I did, and I have papers included in there and everything. But there are certain circumstances in which the parasite doesn't actually seem to have any harm that it causes to its host. So you have the host, which is like me, for example. I'm a host, and if I had a worm inside of me, that's the parasite, right? The host is the thing that hosts the parasite. There are cases in which, for example, there is a trematode parasite that it will be inside of coral polyps, and it will make the coral polyps, which the coral polyps are like the little animal part. They look like sea anemones, I guess you could say, because they have the little tentacles that are at the top. Okay, just like little mini sea anemones, if you could picture that. And the trematodes will make them like red and inflamed. That makes fish, butterfly fish, perceive them more. That way they eat them more often. And then in that case, what happens is now the fish get more food, and it seems like they don't cause any kind of problems to the fish themselves. Like the parasites don't cause any problems to the fish themselves. And so the fish get more food and the parasite gets to move on to where it needs to be. So parasites are really complicated. They're important parts of the ecosystem, and you should not automatically hate them. However, in the game, these suck. Hate them. They are mean to me. So, yeah. These I only have beef with. These could almost be placed in this, but I only have beef with these. I like the cute little sounds that they make, but they drive me nuts that they take my energy. I don't have any strong feelings about these, to be honest. I barely interact with them. I don't have any strong feelings. These, I have beef. But I especially have beef with these. So I'm just going to categorize these two together. So the cave crawlers, hate them. Love launching them into oblivion with my repulsion cannon. And these also suck in a similar way that these do. They just have longer legs. So yeah, these are kind of the crab equivalents. I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, there's crabs in this. And then I went up to them and they attacked me. And I was like, you know what? I don't like you anymore. All right. These I have no strong feelings on. They're kind of meh. Like the design's pretty cool, but I don't know. I just don't have strong feelings about these. But these rock grubs, listen, can you do much with these in Below Zero? No. Did they have a really weird thing where it was basically inferring that they are vertebrates? Which, no. Yeah, I had a problem with that. But I'm obsessed with these. They remind me of amphipods. They're cute. They kind of remind me actually of a cross between amphipods and isopods. But anyway, I'm obsessed with these. If you watch my playthrough, you can see that I just started collecting a bunch of them towards the end, probably decimating the populations, but I'm obsessed with these. I'm obsessed with the fact that they glow. I'm obsessed with the color. They're so cute and tiny. I love them. They're great. I'm gonna put reefbacks in only like. They're cool. I'm just not super obsessed with them, which like, I feel like I'm a bad biologist to say that because they have a whole ecosystem. You know what? I'm putting them up here. They have a whole ecosystem on their back, which is really cool. So I'm gonna put them up there. If you heard my tummy growling, sorry. I'm gonna eat after this, don't worry. Sea dragons, I have beef with you. Some might be shocked that I didn't put them in the hate with a burning fiery passion. I don't hate them. They don't bother me as much. It scared me the first time, which is on record. It's visible. Scared the crap out of me the first 2 times I interacted with them. And then after that, I was just kind of like, eh. They're really cool. They're an awesome design. But I just only have beef with them, to be honest. The Sea Emperor. My beloved. Of course. I love her. She's wonderful. She helped us in our time of need. We were able to help her. And then hopefully it will help to heal the planet. 4546b. But I love her so much. I'm so sorry that my stomach is growling right now. I hope that you all can't hear it. Also, sea treaders, beloved. What a fun design. What a great creature. They're big. They make fun sounds. They like wander around and they look for things. Look for like whatever food they're searching for. You can use their poop. They also can mine nutrients, or not nutrients, oh my god. They can mine, my brain is going straight to food, see? They can mine minerals and stuff for you. Awesome. These, okay, I'm gonna put these in the what a fine specimen with a caveat that I don't like when they freeze me. But the design is just so cool. Look at the fin. That fin design is just, I think, and I've gone on record, that I enjoyed Subnautica Below Zero more than I enjoyed the first Subnautica. That does not mean that I did not enjoy Subnautica, but I loved these more. Like the design of these creatures more in that game. I liked the ecosystems more. I enjoyed the story more personally. But if you love the first Subnautica, that's great. That's wonderful for you. But I just think that they really outdid themselves. I loved it. Speaking of which, you, beef. Now, I'm not going to put these in the hate category because I don't hate them that much. But I have a lot of beef with these because they're just annoying. And I thought they were a cool design, and they still are. And they look really pretty from above, not necessarily from the side. And then they just start attacking you every 5 seconds, and it's annoying. These I also have beef with. I don't hate them. They're just annoying. As people have pointed out in the comments, they're kind of all bark and no bite. They'll run away if you have a knife. But they're just loud, and for what? Why? What's the point? You could just hear them for like long distances because they're just screaming. Why? Why? Moving back to beloved. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with the newtfish. Look at the newtfish. The little mouth, the fact that they're called newtfish. Newt. And then they have these lovely colors and they're so cute. I cannot get over them. I love them. I'm obsessed. Now, I'm gonna do something slightly controversial. I'm gonna put the pangolin in my beloved. I adore them. They are so cute. And I'm gonna put the penguin in the what a fine specimen category. I also just have to say that the fact that like the head opens as the mouth threw me for a loop when I first played this game. It's wild to me. I'm so sorry about my stomach, y'all. I hope that it's not super loud in the video. But anyway, I'm gonna eat lunch, don't worry. I might have to take a snack break and come back. Let me finish talking about these and then I'm taking a snack break, okay? I have to take a snack break. Anyway, these, like, the fact that their head opens is wild to me. I love, like, the multiple eyes and the coloration and everything, but, like, these are my beloved. I am obsessed with these. Okay, I have obtained a snack, so I should be able to survive the rest of this tier list. Or is this tier list gonna not survive me? I don't know, we're gonna find out. The Pinacarid. I love these. They're not my beloved, but I'm putting them in the what a fine specimen category. The colors are really cool because I love that you go from like the blue and yellow and orange down. All of the little fins are fun. And then the little beak, and they're also cute, and the way they like flop on the land is really fun. And then also the fact that you can feed them fish, which you should not do in real life. Don't feed animals in real life, ever. Wild animals, obviously feed your pets. But these are great. I love these. Not enough to put them in the beloved category, but I do love them. However, here's going to be a real controversial take. I'm putting the rock puncher in my beloved. I love these. I love the design. They remind me of mantis shrimp with the punching. The body shape is not similar to mantis shrimp other than the punchy chile here, but I love the coloration. I love that they're just wandering around and then they'll like punch things. It's god tier, honestly. God tier, in my opinion. These I have beef with. The Snowstalkers. I got beef with them. Yeah, you can feed them the Preston's Delight and then they're fine. But I still got beef with them. Although it is cool because they are related to stalkers. And so it's kind of similar to me, like the evolutionary journey of whales, where they had a common ancestor, or they had an ancestor that was on land, and then it moved back into the water, so it secondarily returned to water. Brother, no! But it's kind of similar in that case. But I don't know if the Snowstalkers returned from water or if the stalkers went into water from land. I don't know. These, they're going all the way down right here. I hate these. They suck. Spiky traps just suck. Why are they there? They suck. I hate them. Awful. I despise them. They suck. I'm also putting these in beef. I'm not going to put them in hate because I do hate them. But I just more so have beef with them. I don't like abhor them like I abhor the spiky traps, the symbiotes. This one's tricky. I'm actually going to put it in the what a fine specimen category because they're so fascinating. Like, they're scary the first couple times that you interact with them. But honestly, they're just so cool. The design, because they have the electricity. They have, like, the squiddy mouth, which is fun. I just think they're fun. The squid sharks. I don't know. I like them. How much more we had? Oh, we only got a couple. Arctic Peeper. I'm just gonna put in the light category. Because it's like, oh. It's like, it looks prettier than the original. But I'm just like, you're a repeat, buddy. I'm gonna put these in the light category. These are the Arctic rays. They're really cool. I like them. But the design is really interesting, and I like how they're like, I don't know what the wording for that would be. But they have like the two different parts that can move like this, which is really cool. You know what? I've talked myself into putting it into the what a fine specimen category. Just because of the way that they move. They don't look like the other rays that much. Like, I feel like the rabbit ray is pretty dissimilar to the other rays. I originally remember being shocked that they were related because they look so dissimilar, and like these also look dissimilar, but like I could see that these are evolutionarily on the same branch as these, whereas this one like just doesn't make as much sense other than the wings, but whatever. These are fun. I love these. I'm gonna put these in the what a fine specimen category. Just because I love how they move in the water, and then when you have like a bunch of them together, they look really cool, and then the little green eye is fun. I'm also going to put the discus in here. The discus is just such a cool design to me, because you have, okay, the red eye is fun, but I'm more interested in this right here. So you have what looks like a transparent membrane, and then it has like the green something that's like radiating out of it, and then it looks like there's like a blue gem here. I just think that that's cool. I think that I recall seeing that it says that they taste like melted plastic, which is super funny to me. But yeah, I like the discus. I think they're great. This one's hard. I'm going to put it in the like category, I think. Because the design is really cool. Like, they have the eye, and then it looks like a jelly. Looks like a cubozoan jelly to me, personally, like a box jelly. But I'm not that psyched about them. I'll just put them there. That's where they can live. These are alike. They're really pretty, but it's one of those, it's similar to these, in that they're so common and you see them everywhere that like I get sick of them. If that makes sense. Kind of the same with these. These featherfish. These little jerks. All right. All right. We're going to put them in the I have beef with you, with a caveat that this is a really cool design. The lily paddlers, really fun design. They remind me of the sea monkeys, which happens to be next. They remind me of the sea monkeys a little bit, but they have, I don't remember exactly what it is that it makes it where you can like be disoriented, and they're really pretty looking, but of course they irritate me when every time I go around them, they put me in a trance. You know what? You know what? I've talked myself out of it. I'm going to put them up here, but I do have beef with them, but it's a really cool design. You can't look at that and not tell me that that's not a cool design. Because like I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, like, is this a neurotoxin? Which it doesn't say that it is. It's something else. It's a hormonal or something, or pheromones, I think it was. I don't know. I think they're cool. Sea monkeys. I'm going to put them in a what a fine specimen because it's such a cool design, especially like the head is really fun and they're really smart. But sometimes I have beef with them because when you're not with Alan, they're mean to you. Well, they're not mean. They're just following their behavior and their biology. But they steal your stuff, which is annoying. I'm throwing these in my beloved. The reason why, oh my god, I'm obsessed with these, okay? They just spin, and it's really cool because the way that it is, like, it looks like it's like spinning on a line, like it's like on a flat surface is what it looks like, but it's not because it's in the water. I'm just obsessed with whoever decided to make this. Chef's kiss to you, okay? I almost want to put the Titan Holefish in my beloved. But I'm going to put it in the what a fine specimen category. I think that they are cool. I love the design. And we're really getting into the, like, seeing that Brooke really favors the Subnautica below zero. But the designs of the animals are cooler in my opinion, okay? They had a second try. And I'm sure that the ones in Subnautica 2 are going to be even better. These are just so cool to me. I love the colorations, but like the center part, just, I'm so fascinated by it. I'm so fascinated by the texture of it. And like it reminds me of like dragon fruit in the center of it is what it looks like to me. And it's just these big like orbs that are just kind of floating around with oxygen in them. I just find them so cool, and their eggs, the shape of the eggs is just, I'm obsessed with these. I love them. Triops, I'm just gonna put them in the Meg category because I don't really have a lot of feelings about them, to be honest. I like the glow whales. I'm not gonna put it in what a fine specimen because I don't think that they're like that. They're cool, but they're not as exciting. It is cool that you can ride on them though, which you shouldn't do in real life. The vent garden. You know what? I don't have like necessarily strong feelings about these. However, the design is really cool because it has the big membrane and it's these giant things that in the biology, when they're juveniles, they travel around, and then once they become adults, they become sessile, and so they just like stay in one spot, if I remember correctly. But then they have an entire like ecosystem within them of all of these different plants, which is really cool. So honestly, yeah, this is where they belong. That's exactly where they belong. It's the what a fine specimen category. All right, I guess I should go down and show you all these. These are all of my choices. So let's see how it kind of panned out. All right, so I do have quite a few in my beloved, but you know what? I am who I am. And I have a lot in the what a fine specimen category. And then I have some that are like. And then I have some mez. A lot that I have beef with, like a ton that I have beef with, and then quite a few that I have a deep hatred for. It seems like I'm strongly weighted on the like more positive side of these than the negative. Or maybe it's kind of equal. I don't know. But anyway, these are all of my thoughts and feelings. I don't know if I'll be able to share this with anybody, but maybe you can make your own. I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you have any opinions on what I did? Do you feel a specific way? Did you like what I did? Do you hate what I did? What are your thoughts? Tell them to me, please, in the comments. Thank you all for joining and listening to my opinions, because I had opinions and I needed to share them. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.